This is the most gluttonous wolf I have ever seen. Just because I noticed that the humans in front of me were good at cooking, he forced the other party to enter into a contractual relationship with him. In the eyes of others, it seems that the male protagonist hit a big fish. You can actually pick up a legend and monster as a bodyguard, but as everyone knows, the demon wolf is the real wolf winner. For him, the male protagonist who crossed over is like a treasure. You can taste all kinds of food every day as soon as you have a meal. Even if the ingredients are not enough, don't worry at all, because the demon wolf only needs to make a slight move. You can easily bring back 2.5 months rations. That day the male protagonist took a commission to collect herbs, but the demon wolf insisted on setting a circle for him, more precisely, a protective shield, just because there are many monsters around here. He didn't want to lose a permanent rice stick. After asking the male protagonist to prepare lunch in advance, the demon wolf ran to hunt. The male protagonist began to look for herbs. This would take 2.5 hours to be an ordinary adventurer. But for him with appraisal skills, it is simply a small meaning. It only took 2.5 minutes to collect it, and it is 2.5 times more than the amount of the commission. Although it is still early before meal, but idle anyway. It is better to prepare lunch for the demon wolf in advance, since the previous inventory has bottomed out. So the male protagonist bought a box of ingredients from the online supermarket, and planned to make a tomato. For pasta, first dice the onion and stir fry it in a pot until soft. Then add the ready-made minced meat and stir fry. Then pour in the tomato meat sauce to make it. That is basically the same. The demon wolf smelled the fragrance from afar, and at the same time he brought back a smoke bird. Because there are too many prey left, it can't be moved, so it was temporarily piled up in the forest. During the conversation, the noodle part is also cooked. After fishing it out, give it to the soul child. Tomato bolognese pasta is the perfect way to make this long thing. The demon wolf was also picked up for the first time, and he was still a little hesitant. Unexpectedly, after tasting a taste of the towel, he immediately got on a hat. Even the image does not take into account the appearance of this tire. It directly gave the male protagonist a smile. After eating and drinking, the male protagonist came to the forest and was shocked by the mountains of corpses piled up in front of him. Every monster doesn't look simple, but that is not the point. If he eats a bear or a snake or something like that, he can still understand. What he couldn't accept the most was the half-thing man. Does this thing really not sharpen its head after eating? However, the demon wolf asked him to put 10,000 stars. You must know those people in the town. But from snacks to big words, the male protagonist can't help but sigh that the world is terrible. After putting all the prey into the prop box, the male protagonist is also ready to return to the Union to intersect. But the demon wolf disliked him for walking too slowly, so he let him ride directly on his back. This kind of opportunity, the male protagonist will naturally not miss. After all, in his previous life, he had only ridden a carousel. I have to say, it was quite exciting when I first started, if I had to describe it. A man like the wind, but after accelerating, the painting style changed suddenly. In this way, all the way to the town, the male protagonist almost vomited. If one accidentally throws him to death, what to do? You won't be able to eat otherworldly food in the future. As soon as these words came out, the demon wolf instantly became much more honest. When delivering an order, the male protagonist accidentally found that the attitude of the 8 girls was obviously much better than before. Perhaps it was the reason why he, a novice, overcompleted the task. And then, the male protagonist said that he also wanted to sell some half-left people. At the same time, in order to avoid misunderstandings, he also deliberately pointed to the demon wolf outside the paper window. But I didn't expect that this ugliness didn't matter. The girl from Batai, who had always been cold, actually changed her face in seconds. The person in charge of acquiring the monster was next door, and after this uncle took out all the corpses. The uncle almost dropped his jaw just because the monsters in it would not be great. It is that the first level is all broken down, and it is estimated that it will not be done until tomorrow. But the male protagonist couldn't wait. I hope to give him a day of Uncle Liang first. The first thing that comes to mind is the half-life person. The male protagonist instinctively resisted, but the demon wolf said that he was looking at the indescribable meat in front of him. The male protagonist didn't know how to throw it for a while. If it is cooked normally, it is not interesting. It is better to use cheese powder and crushed herbs. Make a pan-fried pork chop. First cut the pork into slices, hit with the back of a knife. One thing, sprinkle with salt and pepper. While the meat is marinating, beat a few eggs and stir well, and add the cheese powder. Then sprinkle a little flour over the meat. After being dipped in egg mixture, put it in the pot. Repeat the previous steps until the crushed herbs are cooked on both sides. Finally, pour the leftover meat sauce at noon. 2 flavors of pan-fried pork are made. After the demon wolf took a bite, suddenly he was not calm. I didn't expect pork to be so tender, but the male protagonist hesitated about the appearance of a half-thing man. There are still some serious people, but seeing that the demon wolf was so delicious, he simply lived out himself. The result is surprisingly good, and it seems that you can't be prejudiced about food. The next day, the male protagonist came to the warehouse again. In addition to getting a large amount of meat, there is also a remuneration minus the cost of dismantling. So many gold coins are true. The male protagonist was shocked. The uncle saw that he was so novice and decided to popularize science for free. For example, orc eggs have the effect of great tonification. The skins and teeth of other monsters can also be made into crafts. Then the uncle also taught the male protagonist a few magic stones. Say, this is a rare product that only a few monsters have, and the male protagonist benefited a lot after hearing this. The uncle also envied him. It can make a contract with the legendary Fenrir. It seems that the recent rumors in the town are not groundless. This sentence woke up instantly. The male protagonist takes the demon wolf to wander the streets every day, which is indeed too ostentatious. In order to avoid trouble, it is better to leave as soon as possible. In this regard, the demon wolf didn't care, as long as you gave him food. How can it be? The male protagonist and the others are gone. A whole afternoon. Finally decided to spend the night in a ruin, because the demon wolf made him earn a lot of gold coins. So the male protagonist plans to use his online shopping skills to order some big meals to eat. Look at the variety of delicacies on the screen. The demon wolf's harazi instantly left the ground. The male protagonist thought it was raining heavily. 15 seconds after placing an order, the male protagonist, who is still hot, directly put together a cooked food platter. The demon wolf's eyes immediately lit up when he saw it. Just by looking at the expression, you can tell that it must be confused. But these are not the main courses. The blackened steak here is the one that the male protagonist bought with all his might. It was already evening after the demon wolf was completely warm. The male protagonist is already tired, but the demon wolf felt 100 times more energetic, even threatened. If you meet an ancient dragon that has always been tied with him before, you can do it in seconds. The male protagonist feels a bit exaggerated. Out of curiosity, the identification technique was released. Could it be that he was dazzled by all the attribute values? It is actually all increased by about 50%, just when the male protagonist was a little emotional. The demon wolf felt panicked. It is time to go out hunting. The male protagonist hurriedly stopped, in case he is gone. What should I do if a monster suddenly appears? The words just fell. The male protagonist was put on a protective shield again. This time it is twice the size of the last time. The demon wolf believes that even if it encounters the dragon's breath, it can easily rebound. After saying that, he hurriedly left. And the male protagonist naturally has no idea of waiting. Use a carton first. Simply lay out the map and then buy a 3-piece set from the supermarket. Then he slept peacefully. At the same time, on the other side, the demon wolf has completely killed the B-level wild birds. In the forest, he can now fly first with just one paw. A mere giant deer can be on the spot as soon as thunder and lightning pass. Kill hordes of orcs in front of him. That is even less worth mentioning. Even if a rare half-orc is killed afterwards, the general can only be reduced to a defeated general under his command. Even Cumela, who usually takes some effort to solve. Now I can't withstand her lightning strike. And before I know it, it is like this overnight. Past the next day, the male protagonist woke up dumbfounded.